Donald Trump may pardon convicted murderer Officer Chauvin. Put it up, full mass. So the cop who killed a person while being watched and recorded is possibly receiving a pardon. So here's an update. We brought you this story when the insanity started to call for Trump to do this. The police chief has said they are prepared for public outcry if Chauvin is pardoned. So rumors are now circulating Trump could potentially pardon Derek Chauvin. If those rumors are true, Minneapolis Police Department, well, they're ready for a showdown. Chauvin is serving consecutive state and federal sentences for kneeling and killing. This is George Floyd. He kneeled on the man's neck for more than 9 minutes. Chauvin is currently serving a 21-year federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights. He also has a 22.5-year sentence for murder. That part is important. The 49-year-old was convicted of unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He later pleaded guilty to depriving Floyd of his rights in the federal civil rights case. Now, here's the irony. He pled guilty of the federal charge. He's duly convicted under the state statute as well. Some people ask, why would you waste the court's time and taxpayer money to duly convict a man? Well, this is a case study for why. There's more. I put it up. Minnesota. Let's talk about it. The officials in Minnesota, they have responded to the rumors that a pardon could be on its way. Attorney General Keith Ellison, former congressman, not happy about the news. Quote, he still owes Minnesota 22.5 years. And he's going to do it either in Minnesota or somewhere, but he's not getting out, end quote. So let's go to the Minnesota police chief. This is Chief Brian O'Hara. He's now saying that the city and the state should be prepared in case a pardon happens. Quote, I was in DC last week, and I've literally had police chiefs from around the country ask me that question. I tell you what, I've told them, there is absolutely no credible information we have to suggest that's going to happen, end quote. Another quote, of course, because there's all these rumors, we've been in communication with our partners at the state, at the federal level, to ensure that we and all of our partners are prepared in the event something like this happens and it causes some type of civil disturbance. To be clear, there is no credible information that something like that will happen. Now, typically police departments do not engage in such coordination for mere rumors. So while he's saying to the public, no credible information, it is a rumor. However, they are treating it as an official investigation, coordinating multiple agencies, state, local. Well, go back to the origin again. The Trumpites, some with many followers, decided to make this petition to call on the pardon of Chauvin by way of Trump. We've talked about this since the beginning. It's a show. Number one, a federal pardon does not free the murderer, Chauvin, at all, because the pardon would not address the state conviction. So it's for show. It doesn't actually get anything done. Number two, if they actually cared and believed authentically that somehow Chauvin got a bad conviction, even though it was based on the Constitution, he was able to confront his accusers, sit in the defendant chair, which is constitutionally mandated. A jury of his peers judged him, weighed the evidence in doing so. Every right intact. He took somebody's right away. His remained. Now, if you believe he got a bad conviction, why are they not calling for the equal pardon of the other cops who were convicted, who watched Chauvin kill a human being? That part alone helps you understand how much gaslighting is happening. Now, according to the White House, the press secretary, who lies almost as much as Trump, this is not something that Trump is considering.
Some prominent Trump supporters have been making the case that Derek Chauvin deserves a pardon. They argue that he did not receive a fair trial. Joe Biden and other Democrats actually implied that he was guilty while the trial was going on. BLM rioters had these jurors under immense threat and pressure. Mainstream media, frankly, many news outlets here today are complicit here. They chose to ignore the autopsy report. They chose to ignore the full body camera footage. They decided to slander Derek Chauvin as a racist cop instead. Does the administration believe Derek Chauvin received a fair trial, and will they consider a pardon moving forward?
The president has been asked and answered this question. He said it's not something he's considering at this time.
Not something he's considering at this time, okay? Remember, this comes from the same man who said he was not going to pardon the J6 terrorist. And then he said he may look into it. He will pardon some, but they will not be the violent ones. And then he pardoned them all. There you go. All right, Jackson, that is how you start a show, sir, with the obvious insanity. What say you?
Right. And well, I mean, this is really just a complete disaster in the making.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out, she didn't say, no, he's not going to do that. She said at this time, at this moment, he's not going to do it. But first and foremost, think back to when Obama was in office and how much Republicans and conservatives griped about how he was divisive and he wasn't bringing people together. When Derek Chauvin took the life of George Floyd, that was one of the biggest shattering events in terms of separating people and increasing the race divide in this country that we've had in my lifetime. That spurred off the Black Lives Matter movement. That spurred off so many different types of actions in this country that we're still looking at today. So this is not about justice. This isn't about reconciliation. This isn't about any of that. So for an administration who's supposed to be all about bringing people together, this is literally the worst possible move that you could make. It's just going to cause chaos. It's not going to do anything to make the Trump administration look like they have open arms for anybody. And it's just throwing a bone to the white nationalists in this country. I mean, another question I have about this is like, okay, let's say that you do pardon Derek Chauvin. What kind of life can he really even live at this point? I mean, could he go get another police job? Could he work at a grocery store? He's not going to be able to really be out in public that much because there's so much hatred for him. I mean, then again, he may be able to go move into some gated white supremacist community. So maybe let me not get too far ahead of myself. But at the end of the day, it's just a horrible idea. And it's just something that nobody benefits from. And Derek Chauvin needs to stay right where he is.
Yeah. And I would imagine if Trump did do it, he would probably try to challenge the law that says he can't pardon a state conviction as well. We'll bring updates as they come.